We are live. Welcome, guys, back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle. Today, we will talk over some hockey because we do have some hockey plays. We will talk over some college basketball. I have a couple plays in the NBA. And I actually have a college basketball game that's currently going on at the moment. I have ULL plus 8.5. They're down 1 point at halftime. So hopefully we can get that to get our day started. But before we jump into today's card, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate the support. Check all the links in the description below. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of it linked down below. And if you guys can, check out the picks and Parleys.net website. That's where you can find all of Earle Sports Bets, best bets, all over on the site. In terms of the site yesterday, we were up 0.3 units. So at least it's a day in the green. We'll kind of go through all the stuff that we had up on the site so you guys can get an idea. I had Drake plus 4.5. They said leave the points at the door. We'll win by 11 against Murray State. So nice winner there. I had Georgetown plus 9.5. They could not get the job done. They lose by 15. I had the over in the FAU Tulane game. Over 155.5. It landed at 153. So did not get that one there. I had Rhode Island money line. They win by a point. So I'm happy with that one. That was a plus 120 winner. UNC and Notre Dame over the total. Doesn't matter if you got it at 145 when I did the video with Allie, or if you got it at 148 where I got it in the morning. Doesn't matter because it finished at 150 points. 160 points. No, 150. It finished at 150, 91-69. Detroit couldn't get the job done. I had them plus 2.5 versus IFPW. I believe they were winning at halftime. Yeah, they were up 3 at halftime and then lost the second half by 10. Not ideal. Creighton covered the spread for me there. I had them plus 6.5. So they win. They lose by 2, but cash by 5.5 points. I got hooked with Fordham plus 4.5. They lose by 5 to Davidson. Not fun there. I had the Toronto Maple Leafs. I swear to God, this stupid Detroit Red Wings team will not lose. I don't like my Red Wings to miss the playoff prop anymore. I think that one is long gone. ECU team total under 65.5 winner. They score 60 points in a 17-point loss to Wichita State. When in doubt, fade the Pirates. They suck at basketball. The under in the Pacers game finished 119-104, so 223 points, and it finished under the 227. Luckily, we had a slow second half. Tulsa took care of business in the second half as well. They won by 17. I had the minus 6.5 winner there. South Dakota and Omaha over did not get there. That finished 68-64. I had Cincinnati team total under 67.5. They land at 51, as I kind of got that game pretty much completely right. I wish I ended up adding Arizona. I did not. Arizona ended up winning by 26. I took Arizona State money line. They were winning at halftime and then lose the second half by 14, lose the game by 12. Not ideal. I had Brett Burns to get a point for the Avalanche. The Avalanche scored 1 goal, and he was involved in it. So I cashed that at plus 125. Never in doubt for the Utah Mammoth. They win in overtime, and they get the team total as well, over at 3.5 team total for them, plus 105. Although the night did not end great because the Sacramento Kings lost by 13. Lost by 13, so they did not cash the plus 4.5. And Jacob Chikrin did not get a point in a game that the Capitals lose to Vancouver. So I remember somebody asked me in the chat yesterday, when would Vancouver snap their losing streak? Apparently it was last night. So there you go. That was interesting to see. I woke up to that. And I guess the losing streak is over. And it didn't even go to overtime. So loss in regulation from Washington as they continue to fall off out of the wild card race, because I remember that was one that they were up in the wild card picture for a while, but I think they kind of fallen off. Where are they now? They're tied with the Devils at this point, sitting at 54 points. They're now 4 points back of a wild card spot, so they've kind of sunk down. Not to mention, the Bruins have a game in hand versus the Capitals, so interesting to see that. But it ended up being a day that we were up 0.3 units, so at least it was not a day in the red. But we'll go ahead and quickly throw up the actually, let me go post them on social media. I post so if you cannot show up to the show, I try to post the plays up to the Twitter account every single day. That's at Bets Earle. That's the official Twitter account of Earle Sports Bets. That's not my personal one. That's just the company one. But I try to post those plays up every single day. So bada bing, bada boom. Good luck today, my people. Good luck to you too as well. Stop Geo. It's good to see you. And hopefully we can have a good day today. Hopefully we can have a good day. I'm gonna retweet this stuff, although that game already happened, so whoops. I was looking at something else. Oh yeah, free picks for today. They include Josh Doan to get a point in hockey. He plays for the Buffalo Sabres. He just signed an extension. I believe it was 7 years for $6.95 million per year. So big extension for him. I think he gets on the scoreboard. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored a goal. I'm taking the Wizards plus 5.5 versus the Nuggets. This is a game. Although the line's gone back up to 6.5. I don't trust. For some reason, the Nuggets always have a problem with the Washington Wizards. So I'm going to just fade them tonight. So I got Washington plus 5.5. And I grabbed South Florida in college basketball. They're against UAB in UAB. I think they can take care of business as well. I believe that line opened up at a 1.5 up to a 2.5. Money was coming in the right way on them. So I do like USF in college basketball. So we've got that going for us there. Big signing in or trade in the MLB yesterday. The New York Mets acquired Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers in exchange for Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat. So the Mets finally got their number one starter. And they've got a nice. I kind of like that Meyer piece. I think Myers could be definitely a good part to either the bullpen or as a swingman. You're either going to be a starter or a reliever or anything in that case. I like the spot for him. I like Meyer as a pitcher. I think he's got some solid stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him pitch pretty well for the Mets. As for what the Brewers got back, Jet Williams was a guy that was kind of blocked in the Mets system because there's a bunch of other prospects, whether it's center field or he played second base as well with Marcus Semien and us trading for Robert and not Patrick Ewing, but Ewing on the way up, which I think is going to be a better prospect than Jet Williams. It makes sense on why the Mets decided to go a different direction with that. So kind of like the spot for that one. But we'll see from there. Low quality player. Who's a low quality player? Who's the low quality player? Are you saying Jet or Sprout? Or are you going after Tobias Meyer? Because I like his stuff. Pulling up his baseball reference page. Last year, I believe he was a flip, like a back and forth. Yeah, he pitched for both Nashville and Milwaukee last year. In Milwaukee last year, he pitched to a 3.55 ERA, and that was in 22 starts. He pitched 50 and 2/3 innings. Keep in mind, this was a Brewers team that had a lot of pitching, so we weren't really able to see much. It's also the same guy that pitched really well in the postseason for Milwaukee against the Mets in 2024. I really like that piece. I definitely think he's going to be solid enough to get some type of to build in that bullpen or even be an extra starter if needed. So I like that spot for him. Real quick, let's pull up some college basketball. See if there's what ranked matchups are looking like. And I want to I keep on looking up Bet Rivers to see if I'm getting any action with what do you call it? If there's any action with college baseball as well. That'd be great if we can get some college baseball futures. No. Okay. That's fun. There was no top 25 matchups today. Only 2 tomorrow. St. Louis against Bonaventure, and then Michigan versus Ohio State. Both of them probably will be blowouts, so not overly concerned. And then Saturday, obviously a lot of teams play on Saturday. UNC Virginia could be a really fun matchup. Something tells me Texas might be favored over Georgia. We'll see with that. Purdue coming off of a loss to UCLA, so we'll see how they bounce back versus Illinois. Oklahoma State versus a Iowa State team's lost 2 in a row. Let's see with that one. Vanderbilt, who's lost 3 in a row, heads to Mississippi State. Houston versus Texas Tech it's going to be a fun matchup. Kansas State's always a good matchup. Tennessee and Alabama. There's a bunch of good games on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. But as for today, there's not really a whole lot. There is some early games, and I completely missed the early game. I got one of them on my card, and that's ULL plus, what was it, 8.5. But I completely missed out on the other ones. They didn't even pop up on my thing, so that's kind of a shame. Marshall's beating the crap out of UL Monroe, but yeah, UL Monroe is 3-16 this year, so that makes sense. We've got that. We'll do a quick run through the hockey card. I know that's something that I've been actually, doing quite well in this year's hockey. I'm up 14.54 units. That line keeps coming down on Buffalo. That line opened up at like minus 135 for Montreal. It's down to 120. I think the Sabres win that one, and I think it's a higher scoring game. I'm taking Boston at home against the Golden Knights. It's a Boston team that I still think is going to have some success this year. I think they could be definitely a fringe playoff. I mean, they're currently in that. They're currently in the wild card 2 spot, so we'll kind of see where they end up finishing this year. What is their odds for playoffs? Or the team futures to make playoffs. And that's going to be Boston. Bruins. There we go. They are plus 280 to make the playoffs. Interesting. A team that is currently sitting in the playoff spot is plus 280 to make it. Tells me that they're probably not going to make it. I feel like that's a pretty safe call. Sabres at minus 170. That's nice. Panthers are still minus 145 to make the playoffs. That's kind of crazy to see, considering they're sitting at 53 points, although they have a game in hand or multiple games in hand against teams that they're trying to catch. But I don't know. It's not been a Florida team that's been winning, so I'm not super keen on that one. Kind of just going through, seeing what some of the odds are, see if any of them are a little bit weird. Anaheim's minus 180. That makes sense. Yeah, 55 points. Yeah, that makes sense. Nashville the miss makes sense. The Penguins are a pick'em. Penguins are currently the 2 seed in the Metro. They're a pick'em. Interesting. Kraken, who's currently in a playoff spot, is plus 310 to make the playoffs. Shoot, I kind of want that seems intriguing. Detroit's plus 310 to miss now. They're not missing. I kind of like Toronto plus 140 to make the playoffs. They sit a point back, although I really needed them to win last night. But that's not here nor there. Islanders minus 155 makes sense. They're in that 3 spot. But Montreal minus 450. Yeah, that all makes sense. Not a whole lot of chat today. Once again, free picks for today is going to include Josh Stone to get a point for Buffalo. That's minus 105. Wizards plus 5.5 and South Florida minus 2.5. But I feel like I'm going to just probably end the show here. There'll be another free pick video tonight, probably involving the NFL games, which are Sunday. And today is Thursday. So probably not anything NFL yet. I'll probably put that out on Saturday night. Off rip, I think I'm going both home teams. Denver and Seattle. Denver and Seattle are probably going to be the plays for the NFL. But we'll see. Maybe an under in that Denver game. But that should pretty much do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'll be back again tomorrow with some more free picks and hopefully some winners for you guys. Good luck, guys.